you a microphone. I can't take your question. So while we're getting Kathy a question, I think Tim in the back also had a question. I have a question because no moderator comes without prepared questions for moments just like this. Frank, question for you, since we picked on you first in the introduction. He's looking around like there's somebody over there at Quest Field that I can talk to.
Frank.
Yeah, the other Frank. Any other Franks in the room? Wow. I guess we're talking about your name. Look at that, Frank. So I'm wondering how customers' expectations have changed, specifically since you started this 18 months ago. How have you seen them over time morph into maybe more of an expectation? Are they starting to become accustomed to this channel? Are they less surprised that you're listening?
Well, I think there's less surprise, but I don't even think there was surprise in the first place because of the approach that we took. I think most of the time it was, can I help? But what I'll say is, in this space, it's extremely different because it's now about relationships. So many people out there know me, they know a lot about me. And, we started tweeting, I guess, Comcast Cares, by the way, every tweet that's been done from it's done by me. So, in the first 8 months, was me out there 24/7, it seemed. Well, to tell you the biggest difference, these relationships become extremely powerful. And I'll give you a quick story. April is when we started tweeting. So July, I pretty much tweeted every single day. I needed to take the day off. The day was my daughter's birthday. It was also the anniversary of another daughter's death. And it was a very, very trying, difficult day. And what's amazing, and where I really learned in this space that it is about relationships, was at the end of that day, I went and I started going through the search string and started reading what people were saying. And there were people saying, let's let Frank have his day. Can I help you? Here's how I fix that. Now I want you to think about that. Your relationship with Comcast or your cable provider. Were you going to proactively go out and help people? In this space, that's possible. And that is, to me, the most amazing aspect to what this space brings. And it's those relationships that win out every time. So,
I'd say absolutely incredible. Kathy has a question from the University of Washington. Maybe from Kathy, but Kathy is from the University of Washington.
I was first going to tease you because I tweeted my question, but I will broaden it a little bit.
Should I read it for you?
So that I can get my chocolate. So this is to all of you. You are all from fairly large organizations, with yours being the smallest of the ones up here. Institutions, as a general rule, have a tough time speaking with a human voice. So talk to all of those other evangelists out there who would like to initiate something like this in a corporation. Give them some tips on how to work that minefield.
Should we start with Brad and then maybe we can Maria?
Yeah, so if anyone hasn't seen, there was a deck put together by, I'm completely blanking on the agency and the person that put it together, and I'm very sorry about that. But the deck is called What the F is Social Media. And if you haven't seen that, you should go find it. And if there's anyone in your office that doesn't want to evangelize social media, then they should go watch that. And then what was the other part of the question?
Just the pitfalls.
Pitfalls.
Oh, pitfalls. A big organization. There's lots of people, lots of bureaucracy. I think Starbucks was fortunate that we got out into Twitter before other big companies last summer, and we were able to gain credibility before anyone knew what it was. I got tired after about 3 months. People asking me, "So what is Twitter?" And this was last fall, last winter, and it was pre-Oprah. So post-Oprah, it's different. People are like telling me what to tweet, and luckily we've already built the credibility. So it's important to evangelize, show examples of Comcast, all the airlines. There's a lot of airlines out there doing a lot of good work. Show examples. There's a ton of case studies out there. But it's important to keep that voice singular. Thankfully, we're within the marketing organization, and PR group is great. And Elise is here from the PR group. And, hi.
Hi, Elisa.
Elise.
I'll take a grande soy mocha.
We're given a lot of autonomy within the organization, and that's been completely thankful.
Maria, how about you?
We got a lot of help from our agency, and we were in the middle of a repositioning, so we were going from our founder who had owned the company to passing down to his son. And the greatest thing about it is his son had just gotten his MBA from Chicago, University of Chicago, and he really gets it. And was totally supportive and said, he pretty much said, I will support you in any way that I can. Bring forward what you think we need to do. I said we need to hire an agency that gets us, so we did. And Eric Weaver was one of the people that actually helped us really set our handrails on our voice. Marty McDonald over here and Hillary Brownberg. They're strategists and they really understand the space, so they helped us for the first time. Really, we knew who we were, but we didn't know how to frame that out in a way that didn't seem really scattered, because independent family brands can be scattered, and that's the beauty of them. So once we had those handrails, we started drawing this core in, and the core kept driving more, and before you knew it, it was one after the other. And so for us, it's not it's been not the challenge hasn't been authenticity. It's we have more of a name brand, and people understanding Nature's Path as a brand than to just be real and genuine, because we've always been pretty gutsy. We're bootstrap marketers. We are really grassroots, and nobody's telling us what to do. We're fiercely independent, and so that's been really fun because we just get out there and we do what we got to do. We take risks, and it's really embraced in our culture. So.
Now, speaking of the culture, I think there's a question in the back. Is that right, Tim? Did you have a question? We're gonna get a mic to you, but in the meantime, we have a question that was submitted via Twitter, and I'm actually going to paraphrase this question because this speaks to something else that I wanted to touch on. The question was for Frank, but I think it actually probably applies to all four of you, and I'd love to kind of hear maybe